Google's AI mode does have access to your Google Business Profile reviews.
Speaking of what holds us back, right? It's a lack of implementation.
It's rare that you'll get an AI to ever say, I'm not really sure. That's a really tough question.
Hey friends, Leo here. Welcome back to Perspectives Unlocked. Today, we're diving deep into a topic every agent and entrepreneur is buzzing about: how to harness AI and content marketing without losing your authenticity. Joining me are three heavy hitters: Jason Pantana, the brain behind AI Marketing Academy; Drew Thompson, coach and co-pilot for agents ready to scale; and Dusty Oglesby, mindset and accountability powerhouse. Together, they're unpacking what it really takes to stand out in search, build a reputation AI wants to recommend, and overcome the roadblocks that keep so many agents stuck. Whether you're brand new or a seasoned pro, this episode is your playbook for thriving in the era of AI.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Perspectives Unlocked. My name is Drew Thompson, the head coach here at Real. We've got something special for you today. Today, we're not just talking about AI and marketing. I've got Jason Pantana and Dusty Oglesby here. We're talking about, let's call this a complete playbook for building content marketing, for building a sustainable content marketing engines. Now, here's how we're going to do this. I got the two experts. We're going to cover the what and the how. So, Jason, introduce yourself as if you really need to introduce yourself. But yeah, please introduce yourself.
What a privilege first to be on this podcast. Thank you for hosting me and to get to work with two amazing guys on this session. I'm excited about our dialogue today. I'm Jason Pantana. I lead AI Marketing Academy, and we are right now producing the most actionable tactical training there is in all of real estate for AI. And it's all about how do you leverage and use the technology of the day, which is massively exploding. I mean, it is just a prolific amount of new technology, but how do you take it day by day, bit by bit to apply it to your business, save you time, scale your business, streamline, and sharpen the axe?
So good. And we were just talking about this before we started. How do you keep up with everything that's happening in AI? I feel like every time I open up my email, I see a new AI tool that's coming on the market, and I'm like, oh, I got to go check that in. Shiny penny, shiny penny.
Truly. So the simple answer is you have to have a healthy, very elastic definition of what it means to be keeping up. It is every day. It's multiple times a day where there's new stuff coming at you. And what I try to remember is, hey, it's just stuff I can apply to my business. It's stuff. These are tools. And either this tool helps me accomplish the mission of my business or it doesn't. And I think we're going to get into this today. If you don't have clarity around where you're going with your business or what you want to accomplish, this stuff can be very, very crazy in terms of scatterbrained, shiny penny syndrome, all that kind of stuff. So you got to be anchored to, I know what I'm trying to accomplish in my business, and I'm now being made aware of tools that can help me do that faster, smarter, better. And either it helps or it doesn't. And so to me, keeping up is a selective level of keeping up.
I love this. Does it accomplish the goals of my business? Now, to help us understand the goals of the business, if you guys don't know Dusty, you guys need to know Dusty. Dusty is by far one of the best trainers, coaches, friends, and just one of those people who's cut from the same cloth. He's a good dude. He's an expert on mindset, discipline, accountability. He coached at KW for a long time. Hey, man, I'm telling you, Dusty, I'm giving your introduction. You just go ahead and give your introduction, bro.
Hey, I'm in for it. Well, first of all, I will say the way that I keep up with everything with AI, my definition is Jason Pantana. That is my definition. So along with Drew Thompson. So first of all, man, I'm super humbled and honored to be able to be on this podcast with you guys, with two guys that I have massive respect for and two guys who I know have the same heart, which is, hey, how do we go help as many people as we possibly can, live the lives they desire to live, build the businesses they desire to build, and create the legacies, right? And so I'm a founder of Divine Coaching, and what we do is along the lines of what Jason does is, hey, how do we gain that clarity? How do we gain that consistency? Where's the accountability piece in all of this, right? I'm a firm believer that anywhere we're not held accountable, we're going to be prone to wonder. I don't know if that's you, but it's for sure Dusty. And really getting that clarity around where do I want to go? Getting clarity around what's my starting point. I think that's one thing we miss a lot, right, guys, is we all know that. I think by and large, I've never asked an agent where they want to go and they don't know. Most of the time they know, they just don't know the other two things. And those two things are, number one, what's my starting point? Where am I playing from? And I mean that like in their life and in their business, right? And then secondly, now what's my path? How do I get clarity along that path? And I love what you said, Jason. It's identifying those specific things that are going to take me to my goal, right? Like AI right now, before we even got on this, we were all talking about all the different things. Really, you guys were talking about that, and I was lost. So I was like, man, there are all kinds of stuff out there. We've got to get real clear on where we are, where we want to go, the path to get there, and then utilize these tools that we have the gift of having today.
Yep.
To be able to get there.
Totally.
So good, man. And for those of people that don't know Dusty, you have this line, and it sticks with me because you and I were just speaking yesterday and the day before in Texas. By the way, don't know how do you deal with that heat. Number 2, you have this line that you say, and it is so good. You have to have a plan. You have to have something that's going to keep you accountable, because the way you say it is, if Dusty is left to his own devices, Dusty's no good, right?
That's right.
Is that what you say?
Yeah, I think my exact words are, Dusty left to Dusty is a train wreck. That's exactly what I said. So, right?
Yeah,
that's why I want to be on screens with guys like you, because this is how we do this. We do this together.
All right, guys, let's set the stage here. Jason, from a purely technical and strategic standpoint, what is the single biggest opportunity, marketing opportunity AI creates for an agent right now? And Dusty, once Jason answers, I'm super curious from your coaching perspective, like, what is that biggest human roadblock that prevents agents from really capturing this opportunity?
Yeah, so I think I can answer that question a couple of ways. Yeah. I'm going to choose a path. There's a broader, more philosophical answer to that question, I think, where it's like, oh, it's all this scale, it's time-saving stuff. But if I'm just going to shoot straight. So the question is, what is the single biggest opportunity afforded to an agent right now with AI? Is that effectively the question, Drew?
Yes, sir.
Right now, the single biggest tangible opportunity for you is AI search. If you are not optimizing yourself to get discovered by prospective customers, and I'm choosing to take a path, I'm taking a direction of tactics. If you're not making the optimization adjustments to your online presence to be the recommended choice realtor that ChatGPT offers to past clients, offers to sellers and buyers in your market, you are missing a heyday of an opportunity. It's a Goldilocks moment. Search and getting found online has actually never been easier than it is today, because the variables are more influenceable by you than ever. You've got to take steps to get optimized for AI search.
And those steps to get optimized for search, right? Experience,
expertise,
authoritativeness,
and trustworthiness.
Right.
That's
not that hard to do. So why aren't, like, how do you?
Yeah. So in a nutshell, and y'all pull me back if I start getting too granular in the weeds on this. We'll keep it moving. The contention I would raise is, just like you who are listening or watching right now, find yourself asking questions on ChatGPT that a year ago you would have asked Google. Or even if you do ask Google, instead of looking through and clicking on links the old way, instead you're just conveniently looking at Google's AI overview. Or maybe you're a savvy Google user who's messing around with Google's AI mode, which screws up all the time, but it's there and it's currently running. Regardless, we're now living in a new paradigm where instead of getting search results, we just get answers. Mm-hmm. And so from a convenience standpoint, it's so much easier to do that. Now, what's also fascinating is that not only are you being given answers on ChatGPT. So I go to ChatGPT and I'm like, hey, who's the best realtor in Morristown, New Jersey? Whatever I might search in there. Because of the convenience, it says, oh, well, that's a complicated decision. It depends if you're looking for X, Y, or Z, but I'd recommend A, B, and C realtors because A does this, B does this, C does this. Would you like me to do this next? It's such a thorough synopsis of your question that from a consumer standpoint, you're just going to trust it. You're going to just believe it to be true, even if it isn't true. What it does not tell you, because AI is programmed and made to be helpful, it's rare that you'll get an AI to ever say, I don't know. I'm not really sure. That's a really tough question. It's rare. It's designed to answer you. And we become very believing of what it answers, but it does not tell you that actually my search results are not nearly as good as the traditional Google search. They're more convenient. They're not as good for you as a user, as a searcher, because it can only see what it can see. If you look at the way AI works, I ask a question like, who's the best realtor in Charlotte, North Carolina? And then the AI itself, whether it's ChatGPT or Perplexity or Grok or Gemini or whatever AI you're using, or Google's AI overview, you will see it actually searches the web. So search is still happening. It's just searching for you and then synthesizing the results in your chat versus you searching and synthesizing in your own brain. When it searches, it never tells you it can't see everything on the web. It doesn't have the same level of access that you as a user have on the web. For example, it can't read Google reviews. It can't read Yelp reviews or Zillow reviews. Anything that's considered dynamic content, it can't tell you. And so it's only basing its answers off of anecdotal information. Go ahead.
So, okay. Go back there for a sec. So you're telling me that it can't read my Google reviews. And I was going through this and I was looking up, I typed in best realtor in Westfield because I wanted to see something. And I noticed all of the reviews all had 5 stars. The 3 agents that it brought up, 5-star reviews. Then I started reading the reviews and it's reading the semantic intent of the reviews.
Yeah. So what you're seeing is actually, are you using the ChatGPT app or what are you using right now?
I have the app on my Mac, but then I run it through Gemini as well.
So ChatGPT has also been testing a deal with Apple Maps where you will sometimes see Apple Map citations in your chat, which is actually pulling reviews from Yelp. So it's possible that ChatGPT has some Yelp data coming in. But if a realtor is watching this right now, it is, I'm going to disclose the date, guys. It's August 5th, 2025. September 5th. I'm off by a month. Oh my gosh. It's been a blur. September 5th, 2025. I got the year right. If you as a realtor watching or listening, go to ChatGPT and say, hey, this is my business. Look me up and tell me how many Google reviews I have. It will likely try to answer you. But if you look at the sites it searches, it's actually looking for everywhere except your Google reviews because it can't actually see them. So it might find a blog post from 9 years ago where it's like, hey, so-and-so has 14 reviews on Google. But that might be a 9 years ago mention of that post. And so this gap is actually, if you look at it through a different lens, it's the biggest opportunity of all because now we know what it searches and looks for. So I know where to feed it information. I should feed it information in static text. So my bios on all my different profiles, it keeps looking at Fast Expert. It keeps looking at Real Trends. It keeps looking at Yelp. It keeps looking at my Zillow profile. Okay. What does it see there? Well, it's reading your flipping bio. What should I put in my bio? The authority, expertise, trustworthiness, experience, those EEAT that you mentioned a second ago, Drew. You should put those signals in your bio. Jason Pantana has been proudly serving the Nashville real estate community for 20 plus years, has over 500 5-star reviews across Google, Fast Expert, Zillow, and Yelp, and blah, blah, blah. You should put the authority signals in the text it can read so that AI is like, oh, I picked this guy right here. I pick her right here. They're showing me what I need to see. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah. So these authority signals, and the way I see this is your like a sterling reputation engine. That's what I call it. You want to make sure across all of these platforms, your phone number is correct, the website's correct, how you describe your business is the same, the problem you solve, the target audience you solve. But I'm just thinking if there's an agent out there who goes, oh wait, this is what I can do. I just got to get a lot of reviews. So if I just went out and got a lot of reviews, I just say, hey, people here in my sphere, each one of you for 10 of you a day, because I don't want to overload the system, 5 a day, write me a review on my Yelp, on my Google, and Fast Expert and Zillow. And it just says, hey, he did a great job. He was a great real estate agent. We like him. Is that going to be as impactful as me going to Dusty and saying, Dusty, hey, I had AI write me a search engine optimized, SEO optimized review. Can you please just put this in your own words and leave most of it, but put it on my Zillow?
So it's a little bit of a hybrid to your assertion here, in my opinion. I'm going to say this in a way that maybe is provocative just to draw the point.
Yeah.
Your online reviews are not as important as they used to be. Not directly. Not now. Now, I believe they will be. And here's why. Google's AI mode does have access to your Google Business Profile reviews. Mm-hmm. So we know that at some point AI search is going to start having actual reviews. They're going to come back around again. But right now we're in this little blip where in between I could have all my customers leave me a review on Google. And ChatGPT will never know they did it. It will never see their words. It will not know, not directly, unless I talk about it somewhere it can see. Where can it see? Well, if I talk about it in my bio on Zillow, I could write in my own bio on Zillow. Jason Pantana has 500 plus 5-star reviews on Google, Zillow, and Yelp or whatever it is. Now, don't lie about the numbers. The honor system really applies right now because I'm truly telling you we're living in the Wild West. The ability to manipulate this is high, so consumers should be very scrutinizing, but the problem is they're not. They're believing everything ChatGPT tells them because it's so convenient. It must be true, but it isn't always true. So what I would tell you right now, if you're watching this, is the first thing you should do is put yourself in the position as if you are the seller or the buyer that you want to attract. What are you going to search? What are the questions you're asking ChatGPT? It's probably questions like, and it might be more granular types of questions. I'm looking for somebody who specializes in VA loan assumptions in San Antonio, Texas. Ding, 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 Tammy Price shows up or something like that. It could be very technical where there could be a blog you've written about this, or it could have been a mention in your profile or something like that. But the first thing is put yourself in the shoes of the consumer. What are they asking ChatGPT that you want to be recommended for? And then after you ask your question, you pay attention to what websites did it search. It reveals its sources. Yeah. And then you start asking ChatGPT follow-up questions. Hey, you did not mention, insert your own name. What led you to choose these people? What kind of weight did you put on these websites? Why did you look at these websites? How did you evaluate? You just ask it questions and it tells you, well, I did this, I did this, I did this, and I did this. It literally reveals its own playbook to you. And then you say, well, what should I do if I want to rank for this kind of a question in ChatGPT? Well, you should do this, this, and this. And what it's going to tell you is you need to go make sure that you claim your profiles on the websites that it always references. 1, 2, you need to optimize your profiles on those websites. How do you do that? You rewrite your bio, and your bio has to address the EEAT: expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. It is looking for who's the best agent. From a risk management standpoint, it wants to recommend known quantities, agents who have experience and track records. And so you have to give the confidence to the AI that you're that agent. Where do you do that? In your bio on the pages it's most likely to look at.
And I would even go a step further and I'd say, hey, chat, how do I rewrite this bio?
Exactly. Well, so it's funny. That's what inside the academy, we have a prompt where you just copy and paste the prompt and it will start asking you questions. Hey, what's your current bio? How many houses did you sell this year? What's your total number of homes sold ever? Can you go get an MLS data export of all your sales so I can see it? And it starts asking you any awards you've won, any certifications, any designations, and it just asks you questions. And then it says, here's your new bio. And it gives you a short, medium, and long version, just depending upon character limits on the websites.
So good. And we got to give a quick shout out here. You mentioned Tammy Price. Tammy Price, if you're listening and watching, what's going on? We were just in San Antonio with Tammy Price. Jason, you'll love it. We use Suno.ai. We made her her own theme song. Next time you talk to her, it's called The Price is Right.
Oh, gosh, I love it.
It's fantastic. It's going to be about VA loan assumptions and what she does in the business. It's awesome. Tammy, you're a rock star.
Yeah, and it was a great country tune.
Oh,
as
great,
well.
Man.
Why are AI songs always country? Have you noticed that?
I told it to be country this time.
Okay, I thought maybe it was just we're in Texas, so they're like, we should probably just throw this out as country. I don't know.
Seems like they're always country.
So speaking of Texas, Dusty. All right, so Jason, here's what I'm gonna do. How long would it take somebody to sit with AI? Just a simple answer. To sit with AI to come up with a plan to do just this, to really capitalize on search right now and being found.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Cool. Dusty, why don't people spend 5 minutes to actually go and do this?
Yeah. I mean, the roadblock is the person, right? It's the agent. It's that we take these things that are here and meant to uncomplicate for us, right? The process. And yet we overcomplicate before we even get going, right? We overthink, we overcomplicate. In our mind, it's, I've never, Drew, you've heard me say this a million times. And Jason, you'll hear me say it a million times.
Can't wait.
I've never talked to a single agent across the country where I ask them, how are things going? And they don't give me the answer. I'm busy. It's just this natural, I'm just busy. I'm just busy. Like that's it all the time. And so, in our minds, right, we think we are so busy. I don't have the time to go do all that. I don't have the time to go learn all that. Right. And so we become the roadblock. It's no different than yes, this is different in that this is AI. But if you look back, right, over the course of the last 30 years in our industry, there have been massive changes like this on the repeat. That, I love sitting down with an agent that's been doing this for 30 years because I know they're the level of an agent that's going to take the time to learn what needs to be learned, to do what needs to be done in order to stay in the game and stay relevant, right? But, I mean, you guys just heard it from Jason Pantana. You can do this in 5 minutes. So do not overthink this. Don't overcomplicate this. But then I think there's one other key part, Drew, that keeps the agent from doing this. And I think it's just the sheer level of I'm uncomfortable.
Talk more to that.
Yeah. So, right, in our humanity, when we get up in the morning, we are naturally prone to seek comfort. It's just the way we operate, right? You're not going to see a single Instagram, Facebook, TikTok that's going to be, hey, just got up today and I cannot wait to be uncomfortable. I cannot wait to feel
Although that would make an amazing Instagram or TikTok. Like,
you know what I'm saying? I think I'm going to go do that as soon as we get off here, because I think a million people would be like, what? Right? But that's it, right? We don't like the uncomfortableness, if that's a word, of this, right? So we hear Jason Pantana, who just laid all this out for us, and yet we go, gosh, that sounds like way too much. I'm just not going to do that, right? And we don't want to step into the uncomfortable. We make it complicated when the whole purpose of us being able to utilize AI is to help make things more comfortable for us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, right? Like this actually has the ability to make things better for me, to uncomplicate things.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's what it is. And so that's why we're doing this. That's why we're doing the Agent BreakThru, is to help people understand, look, this is not a, hey, you probably should do this. This is a, you must do this.
That makes me think of,
agree with that?
yeah,
right?
this makes me think of this meme. I just was on with Remarkable Media last week. And the meme is, you guys will love this. It is a horse and is a farmer talking to the horse. And the farmer says to the horse, hey, you're not going to be replaced by a tractor. You're going to be replaced by a horse that learns to drive a tractor. Because we always hear people saying you're not going to be replaced by AI, but you're going to be replaced by the agent that uses AI. But here's my thought, Dusty, and I want you to elaborate on this real quick before we go back to Jason. I was on a coaching call this morning, and what we uncovered about 30 minutes into it is that, number one, they don't feel like they're where they're supposed to be. And everything is on fire. So every week it's the chasing the next shiny topic, the next shiny penny. A lot of agents feel like that, especially coming to the end of the year. If I'm not going to hit my GCI goals, what do you say to that?
Well, what I say to that is we've got to it goes back to clarity, right? That we started with here. We got to get real clear on priorities, right? I mean, like we always have a lot of things running at us at all the time. We are a team, and like if you're on this call right now, or if you're listening to this right now, chances are you recognize that the game is different. You recognize that this is more difficult than it was. Like, let's not pretend that this has not gotten more difficult. It has. And so what do we do in difficult situations? Number one, I would say, let's go back to a season when you were very, very successful, and let's take a look at what you were doing and how you were operating in that season, right? Like, how were you showing up? And I guarantee you they were showing up and playing the game differently then. And so, right, success leaves clues. So we got to go back and identify those. And then we got to get real clear on what I believe is the most important thing, which is what's the task at hand, right? In the middle of overwhelming, the number one thing that we have to do, every single one of us, is go, what is the task at hand right now that when I step in and do this, it's going to create more clarity over here. It's going to move me forward over here. Right? We're never going to get it all done, but we've got to get real clear on what's the priority and what's the task at hand right now, and step into that so that we take a step forward.
Let me jump in on this too, because something I'm thinking about as you're talking, Dusty. I had a phone call yesterday with really rock star team leader Derek Caldwell, runs a great business outside of Cincinnati. He had watched a video I shared. It was a video of a blog post that another rock star coaching member of ours, Trey Willard, had done down in Baton Rouge. And effectively what we had uncovered is, back to the AI search thing briefly, we just realized, like, hey, if you ask Google who's the best realtor, suddenly Google's AI overview got a little bit like politically correct. And it's like, well, that depends. It's a complicated question, blah, blah, blah. And we just started noticing that it keeps citing this NerdWallet website link, this blog post that NerdWallet did a couple years ago explaining how to pick a realtor. And I did it best realtor in Raleigh, best realtor in Orange County, best realtor in Montana. I did it here, there, and everywhere. And that same blog article was showing up every single time in the AI overview. So I was like, let's write that blog for your market. So they do it for their marketplace, and they start ranking more and more in the AI overview. So Derek saw me share that video, and he was like, he's like, before you were done talking, I had written that blog post. And he's like, and the next day we were the number one recommendation in ChatGPT. And what struck me in the story is Derek has a bias toward action. He doesn't wait. He doesn't question. He just takes action. And I think to your point, Dusty, yes, you need clarity on the goal, but you have to make a decision to say, am I the kind of person who's going to be rattled with a lack of confidence because I'm uncomfortable, or am I going to just take action on the opportunities that pop in my lap right now?
100%, Jason. I would, yeah. Speaking of what holds us back, right? It's a lack of implementation.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Like, hey, and one, and I think a lot of it too is, if you were listening to Jason when he first started, walking through, what we need to be doing with AI, the very first thing, I'm sure many of you were like, that's a lot. That's just too much for me to think about. The answer is you need to go do something, right? Like take the very first thing, just like you're talking about. Hey, like he literally said, before the video is even done, I was already writing this blog. That's called brilliant.
Oh, and he wasn't even writing it. AI was writing it.
That's right. He's right. Yeah. It's not even him, right?
Yeah.
Again, going back to the point of this creates it so much easier for you. So step into the space, take the action, and look at the result. Like the guy within 24 hours.
Yeah, he's now getting cited. And he said, I forget what he told me yesterday. I don't want to misquote it, but he'd already received that very day, like 2 or 3 calls. Hey, we found you on ChatGPT. Hey, we found you on ChatGPT. And so, it's not as empirical as ranking in Google. Ranking in Google is an empirical science. Getting recommended by ChatGPT is a lot more anecdotal. Who knows if you're always the top recommended result on ChatGPT? It's more like, how often does it occur to me? But if the phone's ringing, the phone's ringing. What else is there?
I'm thinking about this too, getting into action, like using ChatGPT to get into action, right? I can sit up every single morning. I sit there and I have maybe 5-6 minutes where I just dump my fears, frustration, wants, aspirations into chat. And then it learns more about me. It builds a model on me. Yep. So I might sit there with it. And if I'm sitting in that place, Dusty, where I'm not getting to action, Jason, where I know I need to do the one thing, I might say, hey, listen, I'm really having a hard time getting into action right now. Can you just do me a favor? Can you just act as my motivational coach for 5 minutes? Channel Jason, channel Dusty, channel Tom, whoever it is, but just give me a great idea to get into action right now. Not putting us all out of business, by the way, because AI may do that.
Have you seen what Grok does with that, by the way?
I've seen the Grok and the Tesla. Is that what you're talking about?
No, well, so Grok, this is like 6 months old, but it just made me think of it. When voice mode first came out with ChatGPT, where you could have a back and forth conversation out loud with ChatGPT, Grok released theirs. But they released personas, and some of the personas were quite inappropriate. Some of them were hilarious, and one of them is a motivational coach. And it sounds like he's just like the coach is like yelling at you, and it's hilarious, but it's effective. I don't know, tangential. You just made me think of it.
Well, who was the guy that spoke there at Summit? Tim Glover.
Tim Grover. Yeah, Tim Grover. It's like Tim Grover.
Tim Grover.
Yeah, it's Tim Grover.
Let's go in a separate direction here. I got a question, Jason. If we know for our marketing, we know that for a marketing plan, has to have consistency, has to be authentic, has to be really you. You have to have a clear message. From 5,000 feet, where does AI plug into that? Is it best for generating ideas, creating the actual content, distribution? We know the answer to this, but tell the people.
The answer is yes, all the above. All the above. However, with a caveat. So something I talk about pretty often in presentations and stuff is how to make ChatGPT an extension of you. And the same principle applies to if you're using a different AI and not ChatGPT, if it's Gemini or Grok or Claude or whatever you use, the same applies. Out of the box, these AIs have their own personality. But what they are is, without making this too complex, they're really good at recognizing patterns, imitating, emulating, and then working. So if you give it enough feedback of who you are, it will start to sound like you. So out of the gate, yes, AI tools are really, really remarkable. You already shared the illustration of the 5-minute brain dump, helps you organize your thoughts, get your plan together. Yes, brainstorming and carving out ideas is certainly a high utility of these AIs. They're really good at that. The next question is, can it produce the content for you? Yes, but you need to make sure it's an extension of you. Like me, I'm sure you can spot, oh, AI wrote that. I can see it a mile away. Dearest Drew, nobody writes like that. AI wrote that. I can smell it. The AI, like I said, has its own style, its own personality, unless you instruct it or give it context for having a different one. The ways in which you can do that, there's a few. One, you should update your custom instructions. These are account level settings in your ChatGPT account, where you can give it rules and behaviors it should follow that sort of govern all your chats. More than that, though, they have these really great tools within ChatGPT. One is called projects, and the other is called custom GPTs. They kind of do the same things, just a little bit different. But what they both allow you as a user to do is provide custom instructions that effectively dictate how this chat behaves. And so the way I think about a custom GPT is, hey, if I have a specific marketing task I keep coming back to with ChatGPT, and how do you know if that's you? Well, there's typically two tells. The first is, do you ever have prompts that you save in like an Apple Note and you use them again and again and again? That's a good clue. It should have been a custom GPT. The other clue is, do you have a chat that is like this long, never-ending story chat that whenever it's time to write, I don't know, property descriptions, you come back to that one chat because it has all your other properties and you just get the next set of descriptions. That's a good clue. You should have gotten a custom GPT. With a custom GPT, you can give it hard-coded rules that say, hey, this GPT is designed that whenever I have a chat with it, it's going to write captions for my listings like this. Here's an example of what I want it to write. It will never write like this. It will always write like this, blah, 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 blah. And so whenever I come back to it, it's going to be shaped to do exactly what I told it to do every time and sound like me. So what we do with a lot of our members in the academy is they will feed in like they'll go get transcripts of their video scripts. And they'll feed in a transcript and say, write a style guide that is a prompt that tells AI how to sound like me for future compositions. And so it will literally analyze the 20-page transcript, and it will then put its finger on Jason Pantana writes like this, does that, boom, boom, boom. So I can use that in future conversations. If you've ever said like, hey, write like David Ogilvy or write like Seth Godin, you're probably aware that it's really good at imitating. Make it imitate you, and then it can do content for you. Good. I don't remember what the third one was. I think the third one was automating it, which you can do, but you got to go outside of ChatGPT. But there are ways to do that.
So, and you just got me thinking, I have a project here on my ChatGPT. It's my prompt master project. The goal here is I've trained this to be a master level prompter for any single generative AI tool out there. So I go in, I just say, what do I want to do? Hey, I want to go into Higgsfield, create a picture of me, make me 6'6", make me talking on a stage in front of 5,000 people while wearing a yellow suit. It'll use Nano Banana, but this gives me the prompt to go and do that. So easy. So
I do similar. I get most of my prompts, even if I'm on Runway ML, if I'm on doing VO3, whatever other AI, a video AI, an image AI, a search AI, all my prompts, I'm usually working with ChatGPT to help fashion those prompts.
For those that are just tuning in, Jason and I are just having
we're having a little nerd moment. I can feel it.
Go out and just name every single Gen AI tool that we can.
I can feel it.
Hey,
I'm still stuck on that. I think I heard you say that AI could make me 6'6", so I'm still stuck on that, bro. Okay, because I'm 5'6" on a good day, fellas. So.
Hey, I'm curious for both of you, and Dusty, I'll throw this to you, man. We know that agents have shiny penny syndrome, right? Oh, I want to go to the next thing. Like they jump to the next AI tool before they've clarified their message and their why, their authentic branding.
Yeah.
How do you see this leading to them getting this wrong, right? Because we know if an agent puts something into chat and then all of a sudden it's not what they want, they go, oh, this doesn't work. Just like they said, door knocking doesn't work. Just like they say mailers don't work. How do you see that? They're going to get this wrong. How do they not get this wrong?
Well, I think it goes back to really what Jason was talking about is if you're going to walk ChatGPT through or whatever you're using to sound like you, look like you, talk like you, all the above, you have to know who you is, right? And so Drew, you and I've talked about this a lot, right? It's image versus identity. I love what Jason said. He was like, hey, if you're just throwing out an image or it's just ChatGPT, like we can read through that. They're going to sniff that out, right? And so it's knowing your own identity, being able to then put that in, and then again it goes to time, right? Just like anything else, right? There's nothing that we've learned in this business that did not take time for us to learn, right? And we all know that the first time we did anything was borderline awful, right? And so it's the same process, right? It's time on task over time, done consistently. So if I'm not getting what I desire, then I got to keep leaning in. I got to keep learning more. I got to keep challenging, right? And so, and I think that's where most agents miss.
I think you're right, dude. I think in a world where there is so much new technology coming at you again and again and again, I think a lot of agents actually maybe have a stance of, I can't afford to get this wrong. If it doesn't give me what I'm looking for out of the gate, I got to move on to the next thing because I can't afford to continue wasting time at this thing because there's too much new stuff coming at me, which turns them into dabblers. And then dabblers end up just walking in circles, never making progress. And so I think there's this moderation principle, as with all things in life, that applies here where it's like, hey, you've got to have an expectation of a tool like Drew. I thought your analogy of we know that email marketing works over time. We know that geographic farming works over time. We know that prospecting works over time with the development of your skills. We know that video marketing works over time with the development of your skills. AI is going to be the same thing, but a lot of people have this, it's a genie in a lamp syndrome where one wish and it makes my command. Oh, I didn't like what it outputted. It's wrong. But it's not a spreadsheet formula. This is a generative AI. There's going to be iterations. It's going to get things wrong. You can't predict what it's going to output, but you can develop your skills of being good at working with AI. And I think that's what a lot of people maybe need to take on in their attitude is it's not just about using AI to do this one little trick Jason showed me. It's about learning how to use AI and wielding it like a tool in my business over time.
Well, and that's, Drew, you and I've talked about this a lot. That's where we go from the AI of it to the human side of it, right?
Yeah.
Drew, we were talking about this yesterday. Like it's literally called artificial intelligence. If you don't want to sound artificial, right, then you have to put you into it and you have to spend time on it. It's time on task over time.
Yeah.
Just like you said, there's not a single thing in this industry that works if you don't put time in on it.
Agreed.
Nothing. There's not a single thing. So if you're struggling out there right now, I promise you it's because there's something that you're not putting enough time into and giving it enough time to work. We got to do the same thing here with AI.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got my notes here with these. All right. I learned from my dad once that you take notes. Jason, my dad's Tom Ferry. That's a joke. I made the joke in front of Tom before and he's laughed. All right. That joke never gets old. All right. I got time on task, done, on time, consistently, overtime, consistently. Dusty, one of your best lines. Jason, you had a one-liner in here a second ago talking about the 5 minutes it takes to do this, why people don't do it, and how to use these systems. When we go back through this, that is going to make for an amazing clip, by the way. I can't wait because don't have it here, but it's going to be great. Time, build the muscle, man. My first videos, your first videos, any of our first videos, they sucked. They were horrible. They get better.
And I got to tell you, like, I get the mentality of an agent right now where it's like, okay, so I'm back at the struggle I have, which is I am uncomfortable and I don't want to take action. I don't know where to start. And I would go back to start with search. If you just start with search and improving yourself there, that's going to give you the most fruits to enjoy from your efforts while learning along the way. And then put the blinders up to all the other stuff and just do the one thing that's in front of you now. That's just a bit of encouragement.
Well, hey, and Jason, to second what you just said there, I think you said that brilliantly, the fruits of your efforts, right?
Yeah.
So getting focused on search, because here's one thing I know about all of us in our humanity. When I get a result that I want, it emboldens me to do it more, right? It's a given.
Yeah.
It's a given. And so if we get search locked in and all of a sudden, right, I get that call. It's like, hey, I found you on chat. What, you do what?
Yeah. It's like skill unlocked. What's next?
Yeah. Right. And now, man, I'm going to spend some time.
That's right.
Because I got a result.
Get that win.
So everybody listen to what Jason just said. That's the task at hand.
Yep.
That's the ball you put in the court, right? So you start getting the results, then get the blinders on and lock in. And one thing, Drew, like that we have to mention here, and I know this is like old school coaching and you're welcome because it's never going to change. And that is, if you do not make this a non-negotiable priority on your calendar, you are not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like it's got to be, hey, like very specific. I coach in 30-minute increments. I'm like, hey, every human can stay focused for 30 minutes, right? So time block 30 minutes. I'm going to make sure in these 30 minutes that I lock in on everything Jason just said. I'm going to focus on search. I'm not going to look at my phone. I'm not going to call anybody. I'm going to lock in and do this because that's an action step that's going to take you forward.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, I love, Dusty, when we're in the room in San Antonio this past week, excuse me, you show one of these agents just a live coaching with ChatGPT and it's like their eyes light up. Like, wow, it can do that. And they're
Exactly.
It's like a drug. But like you said, Jason, it's not a magic pill. It's not going to change anything overnight. So let's make a small pivot here because this sounds like the perfect place for us to just kind of preview what we're going to be doing with Agent BreakThru. So Jason, in 140, 160 characters, we've covered a lot, man. But what will an agent take away from the BreakThru program?
Yeah. So with what I'm bringing to the table for the BreakThru program, which is going to be a collective effort. It's not just me, but the portions I'm bringing is you're going to get a wide range overview of what's possible with AI. I want to echo what you said a second ago, Drew. I didn't know you could do that with ChatGPT. I want to create that moment beyond ChatGPT for you in the BreakThru program and give you a wide net exposure of what's possible, because you can only make an informed decision when you have all the information. And I want to give you enough to make an informed decision about what makes sense with your goals, your business, your skill set for AI. So you can have that confidence in saying, I am going to look at this. I'm going to do this here. We're also going to cover a lot of different mediums. It's not going to just be ChatGPT. We're going to look at AI for video, AI for SEO, AI for email marketing, AI for anything that, this is one of my little maxims they're going to learn about. When I teach AI, I explain how AI is a force multiplier of you. You are the input. It applies a process. It's a collective output. It's you times AI. It's a multiplier of you. And the outputs of AI, I know this sounds philosophical, but the outputs, when you really look across all the AI tools you see, the apps and everything, they consist of pretty much words, images, sounds, and videos. Words, images, sounds, and videos, which make up the very raw materials of modern marketing. All postcards, all emails, all SEO, all blogs, all everything, all marketing, it is words, images, sounds, and videos. And if we can use AI to create those elements, your marketing becomes unstoppable. We're going to unleash that together.
So good. Dusty, back to you. What's one question that anyone who's going to attend BreakThru could ask themselves before they even get there into the room so that they're fully present?
Yeah. I mean, the one question would be, why am I not where I want to be? Why am I not where I want to be? And then fill in the blank. And what we're here to help you do is one massive avenue for you to take, right? To get there. And then from there, it's, asking the question is great. Getting the answer may be uncomfortable. What's even going to be more uncomfortable is making the decision to take the action, which is what we've been talking about the whole time, right? So make the decision, take the action, right? Like Drew, where you and I are coming in on this is after Jason has laid out, right, all of these mediums and the modalities and everything that is possible for us to go, hey, out of everything you just got, let's identify one thing you're going to take an action on right now. Like, let's move the ball forward and then actually take the action, right? And keep in mind, everybody who's listening, inaction is an action.
That's right.
Okay. Like it's called active passivity. You want to know why you're where you're at? It's because you have active passivity. You're sitting on it. The whole goal of this is Jason's going to lay it out in a way that is clear and understandable and has actionable steps. And then Drew and I are going to come in and go, all right, now's the time for the implementation of those steps. And I guarantee you do those things in 8 weeks. That question that you asked yourself of why am I here? You're going to be able to go, man, look at where I'm at based on what I've done.
Yeah. So good. Guys, thank you so much for being with us today on the podcast. Hey, Jason, Dusty, where's a good place for us to find you online?
Dusty, you first.
Go to ChatGPT. Instagram is at Dusty, DUSTY _ Oglesby, OGLESBY. It's not Rusty, it's Dusty. Everybody knows this, Drew. My brother's name is Rusty. It's a true story. We're not twins. He's 6 foot tall, 220. I'm not. So Dusty with a D, Dusty _ Oglesby. And then also just DustyOglesby.com for everything with our coaching.
And I am Jason Pantana on Instagram, JasonPantana on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever platform you're on. I'm the same. And JasonPantana.com is the website.
Awesome. Gentlemen, I'm super excited for this. And for anyone that's listening, if you're an agent out there looking to learn about AI and how to get your hands in the dirt, this is the place to be. The Agent BreakThru program kicks off on Tuesday, September 30th. The website is agentbreakthru.com. If you want to find me, I'm on Instagram at the Drew Thompson. You can find me there for AI and pictures of my kids and my travels across the country with these two awesome people. Well, with Dusty and Jason, you and I will be together.
6'6" version of you mean?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All AI. Guys, thank you so much for being with us today. We will see you guys soon for Agent BreakThru.
See you guys.
See you guys.
That's a wrap on today's conversation. And wow, what an eye-opener. Big thanks to Jason, Drew, and Dusty for showing us that winning with AI isn't about chasing every shiny tool. It's about clarity, consistent action, and making tech an extension of who you really are. If you love this chat, don't forget, the Agent Breakthrough program kicks off September 30th. Perfect if you're ready to master these strategies in real time. Thanks for tuning in to Perspectives Unlocked. I'm Leo. Until next time, stay curious, stay consistent, and keep unlocking what's possible.